Hello everyone, welcome to day one of the semifinals on FIDE Grand Prix 2022 in Belgrade, Serbia. In this game, it will feature Rapport's win over Vacher Grave. Rapport marches his d pawn to victory. Let's check it out. Started with d4, knight into f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5. As expected, the Grunfeld defense. The Grave always plays the Grunfeld against d4. This is his pet line. While e4, he plays Najdorf. Okay, c takes d5, knight takes d5, e4. Okay, white controls the middle. e4 and d4. Knight into c3, takes on c3. Bishop g7, the classical line, bishop c4. c5, knight e2. The main point of knight e2 is that instead of knight f3, the bishop goes to g4, then white can use the f3 square to block the pin on the queen. Okay, so castles here for black. Bishop into e3, protecting d4. Knight c6, rook c1. White delays his castling. Takes, takes. Queen a5, and a not so common rook c3 move by Rapport. Rapport is an original thinker, yeah. He played his rook on c3, pinning his king. Yeah. Okay, what is his plan? e5 was played. Okay, the problem with e5, okay, what I don't like about e5 is that it allows white to have this fixed d-pawn, pass pawn, the central pass pawn. Okay, black wants to get inside d4 here. Tries to go for knight e4. Although he could have played b5 first here. Bishop d3, and instead of knight e4, maybe knight b4. Here. Okay, with knight e4, he wants to activate his bishop, probably, because white cannot capture the d4 knight. There's queen takes e3, bishop takes d4 is also not possible, because e takes d4, right? That's a pin on the king. But white has a very clever move here with bishop d2. Bishop into d7. Now white can capture the knight. He takes d4, rook c1. So potentially this pawn on d4 can be a target in the middle game. And now look at the d5 pawn. Queen into a3. Nice move by Rapport. That annoying queen on a3 should be exchanged. Takes on b3, takes on b3. Again, the strategic play for the Grunfeld is always this central d pawn, the central pass pawn. Rook a e8. Black tries to pin e4, maybe the wrong plan. And this is actually a decisive mistake. Optically, it looks good for black, right? With the pressure on e4, like after f3, he actually played f5, yeah? But the d pawn is too strong and too fast. Look at what happens. Now white has the 7th rank with rook c7. Grave stops white to castle with bishop b5. Nice move here, a4. Bishop goes to d3. Now look at the pressure on e4, right? Looks promising for black. But look, the d pawn, d6 check. King h8, d7. It's one step away from promotion. Plus the bishop is coming. Okay, if you go for rook d8, bishop g5 is coming up. You go bishop f6, takes. Rook takes on f6, e5. The central passers, it's connected. e6, e7. How to stop the rain from falling? The biggest problem actually in the Grunfeld I really don't like Grenfell because of the central pass pawn. This is what I worry about compared to the King's Indian. I don't worry much. But Grenfell, you gave up the center straight away with d5. Yes, you take d5, then knight c3, and the central passer, the d pawn. Rook b8, bishop b4, hitting the rook on f8, the defender of the back rank. Bishop into e5, counterplay on the rook, but no problem, just take. Bishop takes e7, bishop e7, threatening mate on f6. Look at the two bishops. We're going for the Boden's mate, yeah? You cannot go bishop e5 to protect because the pawn will just promote. King g7, pass pawn must be pushed. An overworked piece on c7. He cannot capture e5 because white promotes on d8. b5, bishop check first. Nice one. King f8, pass pawn must be pushed. Threatening e7 and d8. Oh no. Bishop d8, bishop e5, hitting the rook. Threatening bishop d6. All force. Force move, rook b6. Take the pawn. Force move again. Taking care of c5. Takes. Another force. Okay, finally the king has moved to clear the way for the rook. Right? Rook on an open line. King into e7. Bishop e3. Threatening bishop g5 once more. Bishop b6. Moving out. Rook d1. Takes. King takes e3. Rook c3. Final move. King f4. Legrave resign. Okay, to stop the pawn on d8, he has to play rook d3, but just take. Bishop takes on g3. Bishop goes to a4. What's the point of bishop a4? The king, of course, cannot capture because the pawn will just promote. If you go bishop to c4, for example, king e5. Okay, let's just make a move. Okay, if you capture the pawn, just promote, yeah? And a healthy piece, the king will just take all your pawns. The bishop is blocking the a pawn. And if you go, for example, a5, white can push d8. King takes, king d6. And how do you stop e7 promotion? You have to give up your bishop. Takes. King c7. Okay, maybe just f4, king here, king d6, yes. I will take the pawn first to be safe. King a6, let's say king c5, nothing else. Nothing else matters. You play h6, for example, just h4, what can you do? Nothing. It's game over here, the extra piece. Okay, so king f4 here. Oh, hey, black resign, it's total domination. Okay, Rapport is one of the original players out there, but in this game, he showed his positional understanding, strategic play that is worthy of becoming a world champion. With this win, Rapport inches closer to the finals. And in the first leg, by the way, he got 7 points. He also qualified in the semis, so he's very consistent. He has a bigger chance of qualifying in the candidates. If he qualifies for the finals here and probably win this Belgrade event, then Rapport might get that slot in the candidates. So that was it. Richard Rapport marches his d pawn to victory. And He just needs a draw tomorrow to reach the finals. All right, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel, Chart Smash Chess and Chart Smash Entertainment on our Facebook and YouTube. We will continue our coverage in day 2 of the FIDE Grand Prix 2022, Belgrade, Serbia. This is Coach Oliver. I'm signing off. Bye, everyone.